To our guest. Joining us is Magnus Ranstorp, who's a strategic advisor of the Center for Societal Security, Swedish Defense University. With us also is Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Sen, retired former NSG officer who led the actions against the 2611 terrorists. Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP of UP, is with us. And Maj Gen Sanjay Meston, retired defense expert, is also with us on the show. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Let me begin with you. Magnus, this entire plot as far as the way in which Headley has conducted these recce's in Denmark, ostensibly because he was angered about the Danish cartoon, so on and so forth, is very, very similar, strikingly similar to the manner in which recce's were carried out as far as 2611 and other parts of India are concerned. What would you have to comment on this? Because thankfully those attacks did not materialize on ground. What more can you share with us on that? Magnus.
Well, obviously, David Headley redirected his focus on Denmark and actually traveled to Denmark, as was said earlier. He devised what was called the Mickey Mouse Project, and he was actually focusing in on doing recce's on different targets in Denmark, focusing primarily on Jyllandsposten, the paper who published the Prophet Muhammad cartoons. And of course, he was also doing reconnaissance on the central station, on a military parade. He actually asked the military parade whether they were actually carrying live ammunition. And he also reached out to different individuals to, very much like the Mumbai attack, he reached out to two individuals in Derby, UK, to see if they could provide some terrorists to carry out the operation. He also went to Stockholm to talk to a leading radical Islamist and asking the same thing, and it was denied. And then, of course, he then came back and he did, extensive reconnaissance on a numerous occasion. But of course, as you were saying, they were unveiled by his arrest by the FBI in the US.
Right. Very, very significant there that it was not one but multiple areas that have in fact been surveilled by these individuals. And let me bring in Maj Gen Sanjay Meston. Maj Gen Sanjay Meston, the question is this, that here is an individual who has been conducting these surveillance operations on not one or two, but multiple locations globally as well as in India. And the manner in which they carried out, the very fact that they met individuals, for instance, in Dubai and got the confirmations of the attacks there could very well mean that they were in touch with those in the Pakistan deep state who are then keeping them informed or in the loop about what really was happening as far as their own surveillance and recce's on ground here in India. Just adds to the kind of not just the mystery, but also the kind of diabolical plot that these two individuals, Rana and Headley, had come up with. Maj Gen Sanjay Meston.
Yeah, absolutely right. See, the fact of the matter is these two individuals, Headley and Rana, they are highly radicalized. And the fact of the matter is that even as brought out by the earlier panelist, the Danish cartoon issue also showed their radicalization. These are the only two two Pakistanis who have been on the Indian territory prior to the launching of the attacks. That means they had been to so many places in India. They had carried out detailed recce, maps were there. Not only maps, they had detailed videography. So this obviously proves that there was some deep state. And I would also go to the extent of saying definitely there were some Indian sympathizers or the so-called sleeper cells. They were helping him. Obviously, you raised a very pertinent issue during your commentary that they were provided logistic support, communications, everything, so many things. Who provided them the transport, that hiring of that building for that immigration office of Headley and, of course, Rana. So there are a large number of facts. So the matter of the issue is that most of these people were operating from Dubai. They were operating in India, and in India they had a free hand. Not only that, there's another thing which, must be investigated is that how they managed to get the Indian visa, and that too, I think Headley had been given a one-time visa for 5 years. This is another strange thing. And what was our immigration department doing? They have also got a responsibility if the embassy has faltered. Even our immigration department, when a person lands at Delhi airport, detailed checks are made. So right. If you just go into all these details, the fact of the matter is deep state, definitely it has been there. And also another thing I would like to highlight. See, David Headley had been started radicalizing and meeting elites since 2002. This is an open domain. he was being used by a department, the drug agency of the Drug Enforcement Agency of United States, and as a cover-up, for their operation. I think this facet also needs to be found out, and now India should go. Once these details are assented, we must go and even meet this gentleman in the United States to get more details from there.
All right. Please stay with us, Maj Gen Meston. Let me quickly